Hey, it's Patchy the Pirate. Hey. Hey, Patchy the Pirate was kind of cool. You know? It was cool. I can hear the magnetic glass doors click open. Rad component stereo. Oh, God. This is under glass like it's a server. Like, holy crap. When listening to music, required equipment and a record, 8-track, or cassette hi-fi stereo. 1978. Yeah, well, it was more enjoyable and you actually cared about music, so I'll take the inconvenience and value what I have rather than just, oh, I can stream it whenever I want and it sounds like garbage. Actually, the sound quality has been getting better, but, you know. It'll be this. Two stupid dogs. Ball. Yeah. Dude, this was zany, but I never really got a chance to see it. Every once in a while, if I was like stuck late somewhere and somebody had it on in the background, it'd show reruns in the middle of the night. That was a fun show. I don't know whatever happened to it. The Head. Again, I know we glossed on this, but I miss when cartoons could do this. They technically can now, but this was funded by a major network. Okay? This isn't some like YouTuber doing their stupid little things and hey, look at what I did, this guy had a big head. No, this was funded and produced by multiple animators for MTV. Exactly. You know? It's like Beavis and Butthead. You know? That was like one of those things. Eon Flux, all that stuff, dude, it's crazy.
I'm surprised you never got into Duckman. That show was ugly and had cutting humor, mixed with rants.
Yeah, but I think that was on cable, and I didn't have a lot of access to cable, so I didn't get to see a lot of it. So I had to basically get scraps from what other people would record, or if I was stuck in their dorm room or something, you know, where they actually had cable somehow. Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I did miss out a lot on weird shows that were on cable back in the day, just merely because I didn't have access to cable. But, you know, I got some of the better stuff filtered to me through people. So that was nice. It is now safe to turn off your computer. Then how is this text showing? Duckman, there you go. There's your Duckman. The rare and elusive dorm room cable. Yeah, there was like a handful of people that had it. And there was like a what do you call it? Like a lounge. Like a community lounge that had it. You know? So and the people who had it in their dorm were clever enough to basically split the cable into their room. But they ended up having to watch whatever was on in the lounge. But, you know, there was only so many channels back then. They didn't really care. So, Transformers, more than meets your lunch. Dude, that's some slick graphic. Yeah. This is when they started cheaping out on lunch boxes. Where they're like, hey, we don't have to make these out of metal. Just plastic and put a sticker on it. Throw it out there. John Larroquette. John Larroquette! We were just talking about him. Oh, he was in a movie with Bronson Pinchot? Bro, we were just talking about John Larroquette. Yeah, dude, Night Court? That guy was amazing. You know what? I am going to keep that open in another tab because I want to remember that. Yeah? It's epic and goofy. Yeah. Dude, that's kind of cool. He's in the detective biz with a psychic whiz. They weren't really good at taglines back then, were they? 1985, my mom braved Black Friday to get a Cabbage Patch Kids doll. It's still in a box. I see how much you cared about it. That was totally worth, right? Prince changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol. Yeah, and everyone called him Prince. I'm sure that didn't tick him off. My name isn't Prince. Didn't you see my trademark? Shut up, Prince. That's where I'm like, you're ridiculous. Okay? Hey, as much as I appreciate their talent and abilities, this was utterly stupid. The artist formerly known as Prince. No, you're still known as Prince. You're still Prince. No matter what you do here, you're Prince. You want to change your name, make it pronounceable. This is like, he was like the original Kanye, who's like, oh, now I'm going to be known as this. Now I'm going to be known as this. It's like, what? Radio DJ. Talk and play music over any radio. I'm sure the FCC loved that. McDonald's Land cookies. People really like those cookies, right? Like okay, here's the thing. McDonald's actually made good food at some point. Then they stopped. So, Subway. For some reason, here's the thing. When I see Subway, I'm like, damn, I would like a Subway sandwich right now. Okay? But I'm thinking, I want a Subway sandwich right now the way they used to make them in the early 2000s. Okay? Not how they make them now. I want a ye olden time Subway sandwich. Okay? No, because here's the thing. I knew somebody who had a franchise in New York, right? And it was kind of, the place was half bagel place, half Subway, right? The bagels were flippin' amazing from the people who owned the bagel place. And the sandwiches, this guy was like fresh off the boat, immigrant, super dedicated to making awesome sandwiches. This guy loved making sandwiches, and he was super appreciative anytime he bought something. I bought extra. Just because. Like, you know those little Subway cookies? I would buy a bunch of them. Just because I wanted to support this guy. Yeah, I'm one of those weirdos. But, yo, this guy made some awesome sandwiches. You know? He knew everything. He wanted extra, he'd put extra. You know, no upcharge, no nothing. He was just like, you know, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. And you know, kind of I find that the only time I get respect in the United States is when it's from somebody who isn't native here. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody who comes over from India or even Canada, you know, Mexico, all that other stuff. I feel like they still have manners outside the States. And before they become homogenized into our toxic environment, they're very kind, nice people. And then they get beaten down by the Karens who want extra this, extra that. I didn't like the way the bread tastes. Take it back, give me all my money, and a free sandwich. You know, that kind of thing. Sounds like an individual seller thing. Yeah, it was a franchise. So, at least back then it was a franchise. I don't know what it is now. But the guy was super cool, and, you know, he knew exactly what I wanted, how I wanted the sandwiches, and it was awesome. You know? But what are you going to do? Nostalgic food specifics to grandparents. You had Italian grandparents, so anything specific is going to be homemade. You know, I can't get prepackaged nostalgic food. You know? They were literally off the boat. They made cutlets and all that stuff, dude. Ain't never going to find that again. Teddy bleeping Ruxpin. God, you were one creepy son of a beep. Jesse Camp, MTV, VJ, 1998 to 99. 1 year, huh? 1 year. 1 year. Were they cool? Because I don't remember. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Early on in the X-Men comics, Kitty Pryde was rather young, right? But like, there was this weird unspoken thing between her and the Logan character, correct? Wolverine? Back in the... I'm talking about, like, the 70s. Because I went back and I collected all these comic books way back. And I felt like there was some kind of relationship thingy happening there. You know? So, it was like... Was that kind of like a weird thing? Or... Because remember, I think maybe in my kid mind, I thought it was kind of something happening. She saw him as a father figure. Oh, okay. Maybe that, because I felt like she was, and again, I haven't read these comics in like 20 years, so I felt like she was super like hung up on Wolverine, like, yeah, he's so cool, you know, kind of thing. I don't know. But then they kind of redo that dynamic with the Jubilee character in the 90s. But those were some dark, gritty, I'm talking about like Chris Claremont years, Jubilee, kind of. Mark Silvestri did the art kind of stuff. Yeah, but eventually they had a thing. I think it was in an alternate series. Ah, okay. Maybe. And again, I could be misremembering this because, it's been a while. So I really should go back. Because I literally have all those digitally now, too, because I am not messing around. Dude, the X-Men series up until about, issue 300, 320 was so good. You know, some of the earlier ones were a bit dicey, but God, in the 90s, it was so dark and gritty. There was literally Wolverine crucified to an X on a cover of like, what was it? Number 267? Like, that's how dark it was. That was the comic. You went to the comic. This dude was literally crucified to an X. Go read it, kids. That was insane. She loved Colossus. I feel like there's going to be a size issue there, but all right. Hey, if she can handle it, that's fine. 90s X-Men was so gritty. That's the stuff we grew up on. That's what I'm saying. Most of those comics were super, super gritty. And one of my favorite ones was by Alan Davis and Paul Neary. I think it was X-Men 213, where like Sabretooth was in the I think it was the, Xavier Mansion. And the only one that was kind of like in there, I think it was like Wolverine and Psylocke. And it was the way it was set up. And again, in my kid mind, it was like a horror comic because you had flipping Sabretooth going around. It was like the lights weren't on. It was so dark and it was just shredding and clawing happening. I was like, damn, bro. Yeah. And that was an excellent comic. And if you actually pull up the, the cover of it, the original cover, thanks for the follow, the original cover, because they redid the cover.
It still astounds me how different the generation behind us is. If you showed them a Don Bluth film like Secret of NIMH, it would destroy them, but we grew up loving every second of it even when we were too young to understand it all.
Yeah. And the cool stuff about that is if you go back and re-watch it, reread it as an adult, you get all the other stuff. That's the thing about kid entertainment. It should have multiple layers. So when we all get nostalgic for it and we go back to it, we could be like, damn, that was good, And now I get more of it. You can almost reappreciate it if it's crafted well, I got to get this chicken sandwich off here. I'm just getting hungry. And a lot of stuff doesn't do that now. Like, I can't sit and watch half the stuff that comes out now for kids, even as an adult, and be like, oh, I see what they did there. Oh, I see that. Like Rocko's Modern Life. There was a lot of mature content in that. Kind of weaved into it. But now it's like a lot of the cartoons, I'm just like, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even the last one that left an impression, aside from Adventure Time, was Gravity Falls. Like, it was dark.
I actually felt that with Beast Wars. For all the zany jokes, there was a deep story in it.
There you go. So it's like, everybody can find that little thing. And maybe it's like, because I'm approaching some stuff from a different mentality, I may not appreciate how it's geared towards kids, but I'm constantly looking for the mature aspect of it, Because like if you watch an anime, you're probably going straight for like, all right, is this like kind of a cool, mature kind of thing? What are the tones? What are the stories? But if you're a kid, you're probably like, cool, action, that was funny, that kind of thing. And then you catch that stuff later on when you rewatch it. So I don't know, mentalities change as you age, unfortunately, or fortunately. But then there's always stuff like Tales from the Dark Side. They don't have the theme here? Oh. Because that was an ominous theme, too. It would start off, boom, 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 boom. Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik. That, even on a good day, this looks like this hurts. I feel like, this is still painful. Oh. Remember hearing that Paul from the Wonder Years grew up to become Marilyn Manson. Josh Civiano, the guy who actually played Paul, says it started in 1984 and was one of the first widespread internet rumors. That would be kind of funny, though. The beautiful people, so relative to the size of your steep forest for the trees. Oh, God. I could see that, though.